Welcome to Accepting Life, where we help you navigate the world of wealth and status. One's upbringing and socio-economic background can greatly shape their behavior, beliefs, and values. While people from all walks of life can exhibit certain behaviors, there are some actions that tend to be more common among those from a lower class background. These behaviors may be rooted in financial struggles, limited access to education and resources, and a lack of exposure to certain social norms. In this context, it's important to acknowledge that being from a lower class background doesn't automatically equate to having negative behaviors or traits. However, recognizing these behaviors can provide insight into the challenges and experiences faced by those from disadvantaged backgrounds, and help foster a more empathetic and inclusive society. In this article, we will explore some behaviors that may indicate a lower class background. Across different cultures, there are various names and terms used to refer to those from a lower class background. In Russia, they are called something specific, while in Australia, they are referred to as bogans. Canadians use the term hosers, and in Germany, it is said that they call them Kevin. Despite the differences in terminology, one thing is clear: certain behaviors tend to be associated with those from a lower class background. These behaviors are often shaped by their upbringing, limited resources, and lack of exposure to certain social norms. Society often promotes the idea of social climbing, but this can be a challenging feat for those from a lower class background. Behaviors such as lying, gossiping, and hustling are often associated with individuals trying to take shortcuts to get ahead. However, these actions can also be indicative of a lower class mindset, where individuals are willing to do anything to get ahead, except for putting in the necessary hard work. This is a different form of laziness that can be perpetuated across generations. Another sign of a lower class background is poor grooming or personal hygiene. Individuals who neglect to take care of themselves may wear the same clothes repeatedly, have oily hair, and have dirt under their fingernails. These individuals often emit an unpleasant odor and may lack basic hygiene practices like brushing their teeth. While it's not necessarily the outcome that makes someone lower class, the mindset that it's okay not to take care of oneself can be a telling sign. Inappropriate or shabby attire is another sign of a lower class background. Wearing a suit to a casual event or leggings to a job interview can send the wrong message and affect the way others treat you. Presentation is key, and individuals who neglect to dress appropriately for the occasion may be perceived as lacking in social awareness and etiquette. Another behavior that can be associated with lower class individuals is neglect of responsible behavior. Multiple baby mamas, not paying child support, and not showing up on time are all signs of a lack of responsibility. These actions can be detrimental to one's reputation and can hinder social mobility. Education is a key factor in social mobility, and a lack of education can be a significant hindrance to those from a lower class background. Poor speech patterns, loud and vulgar language, and a lack of interest in learning can all be indicative of a lack of education. These individuals may struggle with basic math, communication, and have limited vocabulary. Despite the resources available, some individuals may not have had an interest in self-development or pursuing education. Behaviors associated with those from a lower class background are shaped by various factors such as upbringing, limited resources, and a lack of exposure to certain social norms. While it's important not to stereotype or generalize, recognizing these behaviors can provide insight into the challenges faced by individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds. It's crucial to foster a more inclusive society that recognizes the value and potential of all individuals, regardless of their background. Disturbing or inconveniencing others is a behavior that can be observed in many individuals. It is evident in those who use their speakerphones loudly in public places or carry a Bluetooth speaker with them to listen to music without any consideration for others. These individuals also exhibit small behaviors like not returning shopping carts, cutting in line, cutting people off in traffic, littering, and leaving a mess in public spaces. It is essential to remember to throw away leftovers in the trash and return the tray, even when consuming fast food. Unfortunately, some individuals even defecate in alleys or behind cars, leaving the area unpleasant for everyone around them. They have no regard for the comfort of others and prioritize their convenience over everything else. These are the individuals who even pull out flowers from road dividers when they deem it necessary for their immediate benefit. Not minding one's business is a problem that plagues many people. They do not respect privacy or boundaries and indulge in gossip, drama, and tabloid reading. People who indulge in this behavior spend most of their time discussing other people's lives, never minding their own. They stare at others when they are out in public and expect them to stop what they are doing to help them. They have no qualms about invading other people's personal space and are insensitive to their needs. A lack of manners or etiquette is a growing concern in today's society. People have no understanding of protocol or how to behave in different situations. Simple phrases like please and thank you are no longer a norm, and people feel entitled to everything they desire. Chivalry is dying, and people have forgotten how to practice it. The lower classes have no idea how to practice chivalry, and the academics have deemed it patriarchal. Unfortunately, this behavior is becoming a common belief among many academics. Burping out loud in public is unacceptable, and even developed societies sometimes take a backtrack on their progress because nobody takes the time to address poor behavior. For instance, South Korea is perceived as a very evolved society, yet people spit on the ground everywhere they go, showing that development is not just about economics and infrastructure. Disrespecting people who are perceived to be below oneself is a common behavior observed in many individuals. It is essential to watch how people behave in different situations, especially how they treat those they perceive to be below them. The behavior of such individuals is often a result of their personal dissatisfaction, and this behavior is called the screaming chain. When someone is screamed at, they feel powerless, and to regain a sense of control, they scream at someone else when the opportunity presents itself. Mocking people who try to better themselves is a problematic behavior that is prevalent in society. Those who would rather collect welfare than work and mock those who have dreams and goals are often low-class individuals. They put down others for doing good and even call them names for attempting to improve their lives. They blame the system, their environment, everything else but themselves for their failures. They believe that investing in themselves is a waste of time and would instead spend their money on scratch tickets. However, if you are not someone who subscribes to this mindset and believe that tomorrow can be better than today, then bestphotovideo.com is the perfect place for you to start. With feedback that is nothing short of extraordinary, bestphotovideo.com is the only platform designed for people who want to improve their lives. Bragging about getting wasted and passing out is not a behavior that should be encouraged or celebrated. It is not cool to be in a position where one cannot remember what happened, especially since most people are old enough. Living in a rundown or overcrowded place can be a miserable experience. It's not just about the broken toilet, leaky faucet, or electrical cables that pose a danger to your safety. You might also notice that your wall plug is hanging out of the wall, and there's obvious mold in the corners of your ceiling due to water issues. Unfortunately, some people choose to live in these conditions, never bothering to clean up after themselves or fix anything that's broken. A broken window that's been crooked for over a year, trash everywhere, including the yard, and even throwing trash out of the car are all signs of an acceptance of this situation as normality. These individuals have grown accustomed to living like this, and this mindset bleeds into everything else in their lives. If something is broken, they simply live with it and do nothing to fix it. Engaging in criminal behavior is another sign of low-class behavior. Some people would rather steal a bike for their child than work hard and set an example by showing the sacrifice required to achieve things legitimately. They despise the fact that others have things they don't, but they are not willing to do the bare minimum that others do. What's surprising is how creative these people can be with their criminal activities. They often have good brain power and a good understanding of human nature, but they lack discipline and the ability to think ahead. Most of these criminals would be substantially better off if they focused that same energy into playing by the rules. Abusing people, animals, or other people's property is yet another low-class behavior. These individuals often engage in different forms of abuse to feel powerful in a society that deems them powerless. It's shocking that they tend to harm what is closest to them, such as beating their spouse or kids. They also damage what little they have in themselves by engaging in such behavior. Low-class behavior isn't limited to physical abuse. It can also take the form of offering $100 to a homeless person while filming it in public for social media points. Ignorance or prejudice is yet another trait of low-class behavior. Sometimes it's due to ignorance, while other times it's intentional. Low-class individuals often have a single source of truth and information and never bother to adjust their understanding based on different sources. They despise gay relationships because God told them to in the Bible, which they've never read. Their perception is skewed by the media, which is why they are uncomfortable around the topic and often joke about gay people. In their perceived reality, all gays are flamboyant and just want attention. They believe that others are coming after what is theirs, and they see no middle ground, labeling others as them and us. Deep down, they're scared. If you relate to any of the behaviors on this list, know that reality is under your control, and the future is not set in stone. Low class isn't a financial class, it's a mindset and a series of decisions that keep you there. You may have started out in the vicinity of low class, but through effort, you can see that there's more to life than accepting subpar standards of living. Tomorrow, we'll be discussing high-class behavior, and on Monday, we'll look at those who are pretending to be high class. This is like a mini-series, and we hope you'll find it informative. In your eyes, what behavior do you consider low class? Let us know in the comments. As a thank you for watching until the very end, we have a challenge for you. Say that you're high class. But here's the thing, we've never met anyone who is truly high class. Only the lower echelons of society like to overvalue themselves in the hopes that others might believe. There are several behaviors that can reveal a person's lower class background, including living in rundown or overcrowded conditions, engaging in criminal behavior, abusing people, animals, or property, and demonstrating ignorance or prejudice. While these behaviors may be ingrained in a person's upbringing and environment, it's important to recognize that they do not have to define one's future. With self-awareness, responsibility, and a willingness to make positive changes, individuals can break free from the limitations of their past and create a better future for themselves. Rather than being defined by class, everyone has the potential to strive for personal growth and success. We'll see you back here again. Thank you for watching this video Accepting Life. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community.